Okay, g'day everyone. Welcome to the TimePro sprint review for sprint 317. Today we have myself and JK from the dev side and Adam and Callum from the stakeholder side. Brilliant.
We're at NBC. What a great booth behind us. Yes.
Oh, it's looking good. Yeah, wow. Cool. Alrighty, let's jump into the email. So, starting off with the review and retro. So, in the last sprint, we had the one goal for testing Ingram Micro integration in staging. 90% of the way there. I know we've heard that a few times, but we are very close. Now we just need a little bit of seed data in staging, since we've recently had to do a flush with the whole CRM issues that we've been having. So once we've got that staging data in there, we'll be right to send Yuli into the system and get him testing it. Alrighty, for who worked on the sprint, it was mainly Tom and myself, and then we've got JK back today. Sprint backlog. Okay.
Where's Tom?
Tom, I believe it's Labor Day for him.
Okay, in China.
Yep. Okay, first task there was the Ingram Micro handover. So with Yuli's instruction, since I will be going on to client work shortly, we wanted to get another dev up to speed, on the Ingram Micro integration. 2 words. So I did a bit of a handover with him the other day, filled him in on the code, introduced him to like the problem that we're solving with it and whatnot. Cool. Timesheet page UI improvement. So I believe this was requested by you for Chloe. There's a couple of little fields on there. Instead of doing Wednesday 12, it was Wend the 12th now. So it's just been shortened down. So should be good on a mobile screen. Ingram Micro UX. So when we trigger a manual sync, even though this does happen in the background, you may sometimes want to go in and manually sync something if there wasn't something quite right with the report. It's a long running API call, and we didn't have anything to sort of show that it's still running. So Tom has implemented an overlay over the screen once we set up that sync. So yeah, once it's complete, overlay goes, we get a little toast to pop up, and we're good to go. Any questions so far? All good?
Great.
All good? Awesome. Ingram Micro, we had another one here. So this is another one that slowed up the testing. There was a bit of confusion with how Ingram Micro actually sets up their public API. The data structures that they use aren't as straightforward as we might have hoped. Trying to access a product, for example, by its primary key is apparently not doable in the way that we would have hoped. So we've figured out a workaround, and we're able to now reliably sync the products into TimePro. Next one there, adding animation for the add to notes section. Again, I believe you requested this one, Adam, for Tom. It's now got the animation that pulls the notes over into the notes field in the timesheet. It's also got the button to say that it has been added, and to add again if we need to do that. Last I checked in with him, there was a little bit more feedback, and he wanted a revision on the done video. So he was working on that. Brilliant. Okay, so CRM sync, this is one that Tom has also been working on. There was a small issue there. I'm not fully over the context of it, but I believe he's got it done. But now the issue was just testing, because he has to set it up locally to be able to test it. JK has just mentioned some pointers to me, which I'll pass on to Tom. So hopefully we can get that one over the line. Another one here, refactoring the account name column in the emp table. This was requested by Jean. We're keeping all the data there, not dropping it. We just want to ZZ a column that's not being used in the code anymore. Ingram Micro testing. we got a little bit of progress done on that one, added a couple of unit tests that I sort of found that there was bigger fish to fry, and we shifted the direction. Finally, we've got the pain, current progress, and demo of Ingram Micro. That video hasn't been started yet, but now that we have all the pieces together, we should be right to do that in the next sprint.
That's going to be really important. Okay.
Yeah.
So who's doing that video?
Tom was saying that he could potentially do it. We were going to use that as a bit of a chance to even further his understanding of it, explain through it, and I could walk him through the parts. Otherwise, if I'm around, I could help him with that.
Right. I do think if Tom's going to do it, he definitely needs to have you and JK helping. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Suggested timesheet usage and automated timesheets. It's about the same as last week, the suggested ones anyway. Automated timesheets, we're up 1%, but not a huge difference there. Hopefully, now that we've got Ingram Micro 90% of the way there, we'll be able to shift on to the next epic and add this GitHub integration and up the usage. Any questions so far?
No, that's great.
That's good. Cool. Sprint burn down, not the best looking burn down, but we started to see a little bit of a decline in the last 2 days. So with a couple of other issues that popped up, it sort of slowed momentum. Yeah, not much else to say on that. DevOps, we've seen 2 extra tests added to the .NET code. This is for the Ingram Micro stuff. Hopefully we'll start to see a few more coming in now that we've got the sort of integration test infrastructure there and ready to roll. In terms of the coverage, that's dropped a little bit. Just the amount of tests haven't been keeping up with the code that we're writing. Pipeline health, nothing to call out there. Both of them are looking good. Deployments, we've had 5 deployments in the last week, all of which have been done by SSW France with Easy Leave. Application health, we've had a little bit of a rise in failed requests. You can see a few peaks there. JK and I had a bit of a look into that earlier at a lot of 404s and, what's sort of spamming random endpoints. So we're all good on that. State of the epics, where we have seen a little bit of a jump in Ingram Micro, still about 10% of the way to go. That 10% is largely non-MVP, so we can start to get it in use shortly. Okay, R&D, third-party API complexities, as we found out with the Ingram Micro products. Dilemma, sprint retrospective, what went well.
Toby, there is a new section that was added about 6 weeks ago, I think, into the standard, which is something called AI tools. So if you could just throw that in, and then JK, what AI tools have you used in the last sprint on TimePro?
So what did I use today? I guess GitHub Copilot.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I just came back today.
Okay. All right. And the same thing for you, Toby?
Yeah, I think it would be, Copilot largely use it, and then ChatGPT. I don't really use Cursor or anything, but
okay. I would definitely aim to try Cursor because most people are finding that's the most successful. What do you use, Cal? Cursor. And
okay.
Dan did an experiment comparing Cursor and GitHub Copilot, and he found that Cursor was better in his experiment.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see what you guys think as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So just add that extra section AI, and under that, if you use V0, add that. If you use Yakshaver, add that. But any AI tools. So I think the heading is AI tools.
I mean,
okay.
I did a Yakshaver with Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, then you can add Yakshaver for JK, which is great.
I'll come back to this before I send the email, so I don't draw out the recording too far.
No problems.
Cool.
We should have people over on that to see who's the best AI tool user.
Yeah.
We yak shave that suggestion.
No.
Sorry, carry on.
Awesome. What went well? We got JK back. We got the product subscription issue resolved, so we're ready for testing. And JK mentioned that we finally got a sprint where 2 people worked full time. It's usually been sort of split. But yeah, Tom and I got a good stint in there.
Right.
What didn't go so well between divided attention, I sort of didn't get as far as I would have liked with some of the Ingram Micro stuff, but that's all right. The crux of it is, the core of it's there, so we're all good. And then what improvements? Haven't got any.
Instead of client clearance, just write client pre-work and
Pre-work.
TimePro stuff. And rather than email tasks, I would write what it was, which is validation page.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Alrighty. Would you guys have anything to add to this one?
No, all good.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's jump over to forecast. So this is going to be another 1-week sprint. It's myself for full time, JK for majority of it. They've got Labor Day, and then Tom will only be catching him towards the end of the sprint. So
Can you put the first sprint goal is a video about Ingram Micro, so we can understand the functionality. There's a lot of work being done, no visibility so far.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm just going to sort of flag that staging could be a bit of an issue. Testing has been limited since we don't have the data. Do you still prioritize the video over that?
Yes, so we understand what's going on.
Okay, sure. All right, yeah, and then moving down, we have the stuff that's sort of carried over from last sprint, plus an extra bug that we have reported from Jimmy up the top here about credit notes in TimePro.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Alrighty, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining us. As always, I'll upload the video to the SSW TimePro YouTube channel where you can watch the rest of our sprint summaries. Brilliant. Thanks everyone. Enjoy
Bye.
NDC. Bye.
Bye.